Hello everyone, and welcome to my first Steven Universe theory video. There have been so many theories going around that I decided, some of the ones that I might have come up with I haven't really seen, so I figured I'd jump in and make my first video. So the first thing that we're going to do is line up our potential culprits. We've got white diamond, yellow diamond, blue diamond, rose, and pearl. So let's start off with cutting Rose out of the mix. I think that the show is pretty much setting up that Rose, this whole time we thought that she did it, probably didn't. The next thing that we're going to do is figure out what to do with white diamond. A lot of people suspect that either yellow, blue, and pink joined together to make white diamond, or that yellow and blue joined together to make white diamond. We know that a white light corrupted the Earth's gems, and this happened very likely after pink was already gone. There's a likely possibility to get rid of the evidence. I don't think that this is going to be true because it opens up the obvious answer, and that being that it was yellow part of the fusion that had killed pink. Why is this? Well, we know that when you fuse, you kind of share thoughts and you share feelings. And if you just killed your essentially pseudo-daughter, that's going to be very much weighing on your mind. We do actually also have evidence of the reverse, that a very smart, intelligent character can keep information from the other party. We saw that with the Garnet-Pearl fusion. But at the same time, this was the technically smarter of the two, keeping information from the other party. So I would say that given that they've set yellow up as being the straightforward, highly intelligent one, that's not going to be the case, because then it's too obvious. And I mean intelligence in terms of the technical sense. I think that blue probably has a higher level of emotional intelligence, and we know that her blue gems tend to be more calm and controlled and have intelligence in that regard. The most straightforward answer while looking at all this is that it's yellow. Yellow is the most war-prone, gem-shattering, stone-cold woman that we've come to love to hate. But people say, no, can't be her. Murder mystery, remember? It's got to be the one that you suspect the least. And if it's just yellow, well, then it's no fun. But I think that for a straightforward murder, it would only make sense that the straightforward gem committed it. But there's also the fact that likely she was involved, but not necessarily the murderer, and we will get to that very soon. The other culprit is white, and lots of people like to suspect that white is the gem that is in charge of everything, the matriarch of the family, likely the person that pulls you into line if you're stepping out of it. And we know that pink is likely someone that would step out of line, either because she's getting too powerful, too reckless, too emotional. Maybe she wanted the Earth and wanted it to stay the way it was. Maybe she was going to change the way Homeworld was doing things by what she'd learnt on Earth. Maybe she wanted her own colony and wanted to go after Homeworld. Maybe she joined up with Rose and then she was destroyed for thinking things the way that she did. Who knows? But we know that she is the emotional reckless one, and white, as the matriarch of the family, could have come in and destroyed her, and yellow, likely realizing that Rose could not have possibly destroyed white diamond, is trying to make sure that blue doesn't come to the truth, because it's already devastating enough for her to realize that her little pink diamond is gone. Another option that people love to put forward is the fact that most criminals return to the scene of the crime, which would make blue a suspect. People think that she's going to be the most likely culprit because it's pretty much going to come out of anywhere, and I always say, look, That's not good writing. Yes, you should have the culprit in front of the person the whole time, and then that makes for excellent rewatching. But honestly, even as this theory has come to light, you go back over and over and over and over and over her scenes, and pretty much it doesn't really match up with her character. In addition to that, we've also got the fact that Blue, when she is confronted with the truth, will back down and say, yes, you're right. It's true. So I think that if the judge had said, not the judge, no, the attorney, that's right. If he had said, it's one of you, and then she stands up and it's like, ah, I think that would have been more in character. And this could be the one thing that she doesn't want revealed and might keep herself in check, but unlikely based on what we've seen of her so far. So my main theory that I have is that Yellow is in fact involved with Pink Diamond's murder, or rather the accident that caused Pink Diamond to die. We know from the flashback that Yellow was able to injure Pink. This is likely because Pink is a small diamond and Yellow is big. And when Yellow gets angry, her powers, she poofs gems, she will probably smash them, she grabbed Pink's arm and caused her to be injured. We know that in the trial scene, Blue says to her, "Can't you restrain yourself?" And maybe that's her problem. Maybe, especially way back then, she didn't have enough restraint, and maybe she hurt Pink. And then Pink could have been hurt later by someone else. It could have been Rose, could have even been her own Pearl. And I say her own Pearl very loosely, because if Pink was being watched very closely by the Diamonds with her first colony, and they were trying to have control over what she was doing to make sure she didn't stuff it up, her Pearl could have belonged to any of the other Diamonds, probably Yellow's, but only because she's the most controlling. But if she'd already been injured before, and she started to step out of line, and the Pearl that was there had orders that if she steps out of line, use these new gem destabilizers to try to poof her, send her back to us, and we'll deal with her. However, if she was already injured, maybe her being destabilized even further could have resulted in a crack becoming a full break. The only way that you'd probably be able to tell this is if we could find pink diamond shards. Because we know that when gems, even when they're shattered and destroyed, there are still pieces of them about that form into their legs, and so on. So who has pink diamond shards? Probably white diamond. I don't think it would be blue, because otherwise Blue would be obsessed over them as much as what she was with the zoo and with keeping the rose quartzes around and that sort of thing. She likes to be close to pink diamond, and I think that Yellow probably would have mentioned, hey, you need to let go of her, at least get rid of her shards, at least put them someplace where they're not in your face and you're constantly looking at them. So I don't think Blue has them. I think that whoever was there at the time of her being broken has them. Or if it was the Pearl, then whoever owned the Pearl and instructed her to do the deed probably took the gem just to make sure that no one could figure it out. I think that whoever has the gem also knows that the damage, the big portion of the damage, was probably caused by a diamond. Now, Yellow being said to not being able to restrain herself, she could have injured Pink, or she is in fact covering for someone because she knows that she did not do the main damage. Now here's what I mean. We know that Yellow could have checked up on Pink Diamond, and if Pink Diamond was already injured, maybe she was glitching in and out, maybe that's why she was in her palanquin, she was resting, trying to recover, and Yellow being Miss Bossy Boots, you have to be proper, maybe people like to theorize that Pink can get big, like what? No, not Pearl. amethyst. Amethyst can get big. So people like to theorize, or maybe for events, she may have gotten herself big, and if she had to address her people and she's not doing it, yellow could have come in and tried to force her to go out, and maybe in her attempts to try to force her to go out, it could have just been too much and she breaks. Who knows? Really, that's pretty much Steven Universe. Who knows? It's only guesswork at this point. But in maintaining the theory that yellow is involved and may not have been the person to wind up killing her intentionally, let's take on one of the more traditional theories that she is covering for a sister. Perhaps White Diamond injured her, and it was yellow that discovered that the main injury, or maybe Pink Diamond got shattered in front of yellow, and then she pieced the pieces, quote unquote, little bit on the nose there. And again, she is a diamond. Oh gosh, I'm gonna die here. Anyway, so maybe she figured out that white had caused the main amount of damage and hid it from blue. Another option is that blue did the main damage and hid it, and then yellow is trying to hide it from her that she in fact led to the death of her little pink diamond. And that could be for any number of reasons. If blue is unaware that she could potentially hurt her because she could still see her as a diamond like them and perfect, impervious to damage. Mothers and mother figures are also known for their discipline as well as their loving, caring nature. So maybe she tried to discipline Pink and it went wrong. And then that got followed up by either further damage or just broke apart as she was in front of another diamond, likely yellow, who did not want to let blue know that she had resulted in Pink Diamond being shattered. So to summarize, let's highlight what are, in my opinion, everyone's best motivations and positions for each diamond being the culprit. We've got Rose, original culprit, likely not. Yellow, either the straightforward murderer or covering for another sister. Likely blue in this case because people think that she's the least likely answer. We've got white, the matriarch, trying to step in and either partially or completely destroying her and covering it up, or yellow covering up white's mistake or actions. We've got blue, likely accidentally damaging pink and may not have realized it, only to have yellow realize that the damage was caused by blue and keeping it a secret from her. Another option is that she was damaged by one of the diamonds, and when Pink tried to do something that stepped out of line, the pearl that may have been a pink pearl but not owned by her may have belonged to another diamond, destabilizing her or attacking her as a means of trying to poof her and send her back to homeworld, and winding up being shattered in the process. And one way of answering this would be to know where her shards ended up and what they show. I still think that with Steven Universe, the answer is a long way off. A long way off. They like to draw it out as much as possible. And I do love this show, but I wish that they would move along with the story a little further. So anyway, these are my top theories, and maybe you have some of your own. Feel free to leave them in the comments. I would love to read them. I was just about to end the video, and I just remembered one other thing that I had to say about White Diamond. If anyone's ever watched The Mentalist, then they would know that trial scenes and who is the culprit scenes are often very important to figuring out people's motivations and whether or not they are the murderer. Typically, murderers will, at least in the show, turn up to these discovery moments to see what everyone knows about them, to see if they've been found out. It's of interest to them to find out whether or not they've been caught out. Is this the case with Blue? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't think that she'd be pushing for information and pushing to know what people think if she didn't want her secret being accidentally exposed to Yellow, who presumably didn't know that if it was Blue, then Yellow presumably wouldn't know that it was Blue. If it was Yellow, people think that she's there to try to direct the narrative or try to cover up for someone else, to try to get attention away from the truth so that way Blue doesn't find out. Now, if she was the murderer, that would be a very good case. But another case is the more intelligent ones that don't turn up at all to these who's the culprit scenes, because they know that regardless of what's been discussed, they know it's not going to matter. They know how it's going to go, and they know they won't be found out. They already know the answer, so why bother turning up to find out the answer? It's not a curiosity to them, they already know. So, is White Diamond the matriarch, queen of the cover-ups? Possibly. Personally, my favourite theory is that Blue injured Pink by accident, and then Yellow either witnessed her destruction or figured out post-wise what had happened, and then doesn't want Blue to know in case she blames herself for another several thousand years. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed, and comment down below, and I'll have my artist links that you can visit. I'm sorry if I stumbled over a couple things in this video. Let me know if you want to see more, especially as when Steven Universe gets back on track with this murder mystery, there tends to be new information, new Steven bombs coming to light. So let me know if you want me to revisit this topic again in the future and see which theories manage to hold up. Alright, that's all for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Bye!